Hello, this is Gene. We lost 3-2. Very unbelievable that we gave up 3 goals to Brighton. Basically, all of them were individual mistakes. And unfortunately, Bailey was probably in charge or was at fault of all of them. Overall, other than those 3 times, I didn't think that Brighton really did anything, but we didn't play well either. The only player that I think that actually played at his level was Lickshaw. It's unfortunate. I thought Young could do well, but he didn't play well, and he was also part of their having a chance to get goals on us. This was a team that was one of the worst scorers in the Premiership last year, and we were second in defense last year. It's weird, it's just one of those games. Unfortunately, because of all the other stuff, they're going to say it's something more than this, that he's lost the control of the locker room. They just made bad mistakes that they shouldn't have made. And you can't play that well. You can't play like that in the Premiership and just give away things like that. I think Lindelof obviously was a little bit behind on that first goal, but Bailey left him on side. He came over. He wasn't where he should have been at that point, and he was basically covering up for Young. So it's just one of those things. And also Matt also had a problem as well. He's not fast enough against these type of teams. Teams that press. This is like Liverpool Part C or something. They play a very similar style to Liverpool, and we had problems with it. So that's kind of concerning to me. I thought that Fellaini played well, and a lot of people don't like Fellaini, and I think that if we'd have continued playing like that for the last 30 minutes, we might have got the third goal that we needed. But I don't really think that was a penalty at the end of the game, to be honest. But they gave it to us, and I think there was about 30 seconds left on the clock. So I think the referee probably should have allowed that last kick to get into the box, but he didn't do that because we passed it around before David De Gea actually kicked the ball down the field. If you just if 5 minutes or 6 minutes or 6 seconds before that, I think that would have been actual. We might have happened out of that, but we didn't deserve it either way. We didn't deserve a draw. Brighton was probably the best team throughout the entire game. They looked like that they were more confident in what they were doing. So I think that's what a lot of people are going to say, that because Jose doesn't have confident players. It's one of those things. Pogba has a good game, has a bad game, and that's a problem. And I said last week that Fred is too light right now in the midfield, and unfortunately, Pereira, as much as we all like him, he wasn't really a factor. Now again, until they scored, we had 30 or 65% of the possessions, and we played we had a mistake there, and then we didn't clear the second goal. We didn't clear it out, and you can't get the ball 6 yards away. If Arsenal could have had the same type of finishing that Brighton had, they would have beat Chelsea yesterday. But they had the ball 6 or 7 yards out 4 or 5 times against Chelsea and didn't do anything. Brighton had it and put it in. So none of those were on the goalkeeper's fault, other than the fact that he hit the ball back to Fred, and then Fred couldn't hold it, and they had a wide opening that led to the penalty. So it's just one of those things. And the thing is that, again, there are a lot of problems with some of the players from a tactical and awareness side point. But Bailey has that problem. He thinks that his speed is so good that he'll be able to stop any of his mistakes. Today that didn't work out, and he was found out. And it's unfortunate because I think Bailey and Lindelof are good together. It's strange. It's really going to be concerning what we're going to do. This is going to not the type of game that we needed against Spurs, and Spurs will probably kill us if we play like this, although they're different. They don't play a press like Brighton does. Anyway, this looks like it's a bogey team for us, and this was the problem we had last year against teams that probably are going to be in the regulation battle, and we lost points there, and we're doing it again. It is what it is, and people are going to say all this stuff and say the team is dead and all that stuff, and it's going to be all over the media. So those you guys that live in England and Manchester are going to have to deal with that. It's unfortunate for you guys. I'm not going to see it as much here, in the United States, but we know what's going on, and I feel bad for you guys having to go through it. Only thing we can do is show up on Monday and next week and beat Spurs. But if not, This is the way. This is the way the media wants us to fail, and they want to have this narrative. And if it goes too bad, if we get really beat against Spurs, it's going to be a lot of problems. And we have too many fans that are not allowed to, or not allow the teams to just find themselves. I mean, we have different players playing in these positions. But anyway, we'll see what happens. Maybe Matic will be against Spurs or whatever. But Fred, as much as I like him, he needs to be a bit more physical. And Pogba, it's one of those things. He has one good game and one bad game, and he had a bad game today, and it hurt us pretty bad. Although it's none of those goals was his fault, and he tried as much as he can to help us at the end. I mean, his determination was there, and I think that Jose will say the same thing. I don't think he's going to call anybody out. I think he'll say that there were a couple of things that they made individual mistakes in, and overall that he thought the team played well per se. It's unfortunate, as I said. I keep saying the same word, but I was hoping that this would be a lot better after this game. But I'm going to be here before the game and after the game if I'm healthy enough to do this. And if we play poor, I'm going to talk about it. But I'm not going to continually say Jose out and this is his fault. The players make decisions on the field, and if they don't perform well, it doesn't do well. And we had a bad 4 or 5 minutes of that game that we didn't look like we knew we were playing. But this happened. Who anybody watched the Chelsea and Arsenal game? Both those teams looked like they were high schoolers, and we played like that for about 4 or 5 minutes today as well. After that, we had some chances, not a whole lot, which is unfortunate. Again, I keep saying that, but we dominated from there per se. How we dominated, we just didn't do anything more when we had those chances. If Lukaku would have scored when he got the ball early first half, who knows how this game would have been. I think it would have fallen into what we needed, and we could have went on the break and really done things with them. I think Martial is going to get a lot of stick. I don't think he played that bad, to be honest, but the way he looks, that he's not all in it. I understand he had issues with Jose and all that, whatever. But anyway, I could talk about this all day, but I'm going to stop right there, and we'll talk about the Steam selection before the Spurs game. I'm sure this is going to be a lot of shit that's going to go on in the next couple of days. Me personally, I have more important things. I have a health thing I have to do tomorrow. Those who watch my channel know that I had bladder cancer, and I'll have to get it surveilled tomorrow. So I have to deal with that little thing where they put that stuff inside your urethra and look inside your bladder, and that's not fun. And also we got SummerSlam tonight, so maybe something will be happy in that. At the end of that, I'll be happy. But I'm going to be not that happy after this game. But at the same time, they deserve their win. And at some point, you have to tip your hat to them. They took their chances, just as if it would have been us against like Barcelona or something like that, that we took our chances and won the game. They did that for us, against us. And it's a good thing for their fans, and it might help them stay up. When they come back to Old Trafford, then we need to pay them back. And just get past that. I mean, no team's going to go undefeated, and as well as City is playing right now, I still don't believe they're going to end up with over 100 points, but we'll see. Anyway, that's all I have. Thank you for watching. You guys, let me know down below what you think that Manchester United should do, and let's be honest and rational about it. I mean, one result should not suddenly say you're going to get rid of Mourinho. It's just funny. Before I'll leave here, he was so happy this week. It just seems that he was so happy, but the team didn't show up for him, and that's worrying. Anyway, you guys have a good day, a good week, and I'll see you before the next game. You guys have a good week. Bye.